This is the If More Let's Divide podcast.
Yo, Charlie guys, what they happened? Welcome to the F More Let's Divide podcast. And we are back again. Another episode for season 3. Fred, what they happened?
Buyaka, bro. I you know.
Yeah, I've actually been looking forward to this episode because
Yes,
of the guest that we have.
Of course,
You know,
of course.
a dope artist.
Straight up. For me, one of the dopest.
Yeah,
Yes,
why?
yes. Charlie, lyrical. I'm a
lyrical.
lyrics guy before production guy, so
Yeah, yeah, Charlie.
yeah.
Yeah, you and lyrics, yeah, we know, Charlie. So, without further ado, people say we dey talk too much for the intro. So,
I don't want to be matter. Boy, what they got?
you guys, we dey do one thing where you guys they watch. You guys they can't control we.
So hate it.
You feel say we be toy, we be this thing. AI toy. Charlie, so guys, without further ado, he's not even a musician, he's an artist. Help me welcome Kojo Q.
What up? That's good.
I'm good.
Kojo Q, what they happen?
Charlie, we there inside. Last time I see you, then we dey occupy some.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Some color.
True. Yeah. Actually, you were there, Charlie. But why did you decide to go and march to join the people to protest?
Because I'm Ghanaian, Charlie.
Yeah. But I mean, there are.
I'm a Ghanaian who lives in Ghana, so whatever goes wrong or whatever the people complain about, to a certain extent, I also feel it. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. And I also make music for the people, and I'm a part of a particular group of people in the country, meaning creatives who are always begging for support. So it's always good to show them the type of support that we are always asking them for.
Yeah.
So for me, that was it.
Word on the street was that artists came because they wanted to gather support for their shows and for their streams and all that. What do you have to say about that?
I don't know why anybody else came. That's not why I came. Even on the very first day, like as soon as I woke up, I think my wife woke me up that this is what's going on. And then one of my friends had been arrested as part of the Lexus. So so it was just like go mode. And for me, my thing always is anytime people are calling for the country to be better, automatically I have to support because I know I have gone elsewhere. I have seen what it means for a system to work.
Yeah.
So I don't ever think that saying that Ghana needs to be better is a bad thing that I have to second guess. Yeah. I can't speak for everybody else, but for me that's it.
For you. When you were coming here, what one question did you do you wish that you wouldn't be asked on this podcast? What one question do you wish that Fred or myself wouldn't ask you at all?
Honestly, I don't premeditate conversations like that. I like to be in the moment, so I don't have any one question. I was like, I'm hoping they don't ask me this.
Okay, so what one question do you wish that we would ask you?
That's either. I'm just here to, I'm just here to just like,
Vibe, man.
Talk
to the people.
have a conversation. I wanted to come here not just because of the type of guests that you guys bring and not just because of the conversations that you guys have, but also because of Osei.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah, for me that's it. It's
Shout out,
important
man.
that I did this. Yeah,
Small for.
I mean, we started working on this with Osei.
exactly.
Yeah, we started working with this with Osei, and Charlie, unfortunately, he passed. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot about the link with you and Osei.
Yeah,
That's Charlie. Shouts to Osei, wherever you are, Charlie. Say you the support.
he's listening definitely.
Yeah. So, Kojo, with you, Chai, so many pockets they we we want to enter. You have a track, right? It's so unfortunate that I'm starting with this because usually we don't do that. You have a track which is heavy. And anytime I listen to that track, I am reminded of my childhood. Do you believe in blessings and do you believe in curses?
I believe in energy.
believe
Yeah,
in
I
energy?
believe in energy. I believe we're all energy manifesting in like different forms. And because of that, whatever we say, whatever we take in, whatever we put out, it has ways of actually coming to life and taking on different forms, just like us. Yeah. So uh, I may not believe in it in the traditional way. And when I say traditional way, in the sense of like the
Juju.
Ritual.
yeah, ritual level, but I do believe in if somebody tells you something long enough, at the very least, what you start to do is believe it, and it affects the way you live your life. Yeah.
Do you have a reason for your track, Duya?
Yeah. So it's it's built from something my dad used to always say whenever I'll do something wrong. Kojo bro. And as an older person, whenever I reflect, I keep kind of going back there and asking myself why my father was making such a pronouncement. So in one of my reflections, I realized that definitely he's my father. It's not that he wants me to suffer, right? There was a message that he wanted to, there was something he wanted to communicate to me. He just didn't know how. He was doing it the best way that he could. But because between us, there was already extra context, I was also receiving it in a different way. And somehow in my subconscious, it lives there that when you're going through it, you kind of start feeling like you deserve it. So it just took me there to speak on it, let people understand that sometimes you might be saying things with the best of intentions, but the way you're saying it or what you're saying, the other person is interpreting
But-
it totally differently.
Has he heard the record?
No, he hasn't.
Never.
I don't know if he has though. We are not like super close. We are at the level where we are trying to rebuild our relationship, sort of. So the first time I met him, I was 14, and then he left like after a year. Next time I met him, I was like maybe 20. Then he left again. So, like cumulatively, we haven't spent more than 4 years living in the same space.
Yeah, so anytime you guys were together, was that when he would tell you that Obebre, which means you are going to suffer?
So this one happened when I met him first. So it's like 14 years I've never seen somebody.
Oh,
and then-
wow.
yeah, and then he comes, right?
And then you-
No, but it was good times. I think the problem is that he had me young. So even when I was 14, he was like in his 30s.
Oh, shit.
Do you understand? He was like in his 30s. Not like I'm in my 30s now, so I get it. I'm like, oh, you know, you haven't figured it out like that. You
Yeah.
understand? So one, he was young. Two, he has this automatic thing where it's like, and I think all Akan fathers have it, just by virtue of the fact that they are they are your fathers. They expect a relationship to be like on 100. But it's like you've come back after 14 years. I do not know you. You do not know me. You understand?
Yeah,
So there has to be a period where we are trying to get to know. Yeah. But for him, if he wants a thing to be A, and you're not doing it because he hasn't lived with you long enough. He doesn't know how you do. He just default moves there. Yeah.
So, for a 14-year-old boy who kept on hearing for like a while or for a period, kept on hearing obebre, which means you suffer over and over and over again, for you to put it on wax, it means that it is etched in your brain.
Yeah. I even back then I didn't know how, how deep it was. Yeah, until I started just reflecting on my childhood. It's something I like to do. Try to see if, okay, at this point, if that didn't happen, will things have turn out different.
So how do you bother about it? Do you care? Do you think about it? Do you see it as a curse? Like, are you dealing with it in any way?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I have had those moments in the past, but not at the moment. I've done some therapy. I've done a bunch of things to try and understand. Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't have kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, where is your dad now?
He just left the country like I think last week. Yeah, he just left the country like last week. Yeah.
So now he's like in his 50s.
Yeah, now he's in his 50s.
Mid-50s.
Yeah, he's in mid-50s.
But why don't you play this song for him?
That
That song is heavy. No, seriously.
Yeah, I
what is his relationship with your music? In like, has he ever listened to any?
no. Yeah, he's heard stuff. Like his way of trying to mend our relationship most of the times is through fashion, because he's a big fashion person. So he's always. I realize that whenever he comes around nowadays, he has like a whole big bag of stuff for me, and it's always stuff that I may not necessarily wear, but the stuff that he thinks that artists are supposed to wear.
Oh, right.
Yes, so like when he's seeing all these new artists and he's seeing them wear this and that, like he's thinking, this we're in a mushek, say we're in a mushek, we're in a, and then he's bringing that, and I like that, yeah, and I like that he's older now, so he's trying to build something, and in his defense, I'm a little some way, so it's not working how it's supposed to work. It's not because of any ill feeling. It's just that based on the way I have been raised, my communication skills are a little different.
Yeah.
And he's still struggling to understand that. But yeah, he's
What has your mom told you about your dad?
what has he told me about?
Yeah. Like, has she tried speaking to you about your father, why he wasn't there, why he's telling you these
Oh
things?
no. He has done that. Yeah, he has done that. So we've had, I think, maybe 2 very heavy conversations where he was like trying to justify, like why, he was trying to make me understand that I don't understand how
This
crazy,
world works.
like how crazy it was for him.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I have no idea how crazy
Yeah.
it was for him. That's like in his era, a dad was just somebody that you saw every once in a while, and then you couldn't even have conversations with. And like he left this country when I was 1, went to South Africa, hustled, and then eventually ended up in London. You
He's
understand?
a hustler.
Yeah, South Africa, and this is like around apartheid South Africa, by the way, towards the end. So it's like he has stories to tell me. He has to tell me. He's telling me why
It had to be so.
it had to be so, and I understand it. So if the album is actually the last song, Share the Song, is based on the conversation that I had with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
Does he have any other kids?
Yeah, he has. So I have 4 half siblings I've never met, and then I have a younger, because he left 14 years later, came back, married my mom, had another kid, and left again. Yeah. So I have 4 half siblings, and
Papa
then,
was a Rolling Stone.
So wait, is he still with your mother?
no.
No,
They're not. Yeah, they're not together.
How was growing up like in Kumasi?
Fun. Yeah. I cannot lie about that. If I sit anywhere and tell you that I felt the absence of my dad for the first 14 years of my life, I'll be a liar.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't. I grew up around people, nobody's dad was around. It was not a thing we even spoke about.
Yeah.
You understand? It was normal. But we had the aunties, we had the grandmas.
Yeah.
Everybody took care of everybody. And you just had time to be a kid. You know, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So for me, right, how your chi is impeccable. Like your chi is so flawless. I always go like 2 people who I think their chi works for me is Akakan and then you. Do you think Kumasi played a part with you rapping in Tree? Because you know what, I am also Akan, but I grew up in Accra.
Yeah.
You know, so my command over the Tree language or Akan isn't as you know the dope as yours. Do you think it's because of your Kumasi upbringing?
Yeah, I think Accra has actually messed up my tree because when I go around my cousins, they say stuff in normal conversation that's like, hey, I don't remember the last time somebody said that. So yeah, like for most of my life, just to give you like extra context, the first time I came to Accra, I was out of SS.
Oh,
I've
wow.
never been to Accra.
Wow.
Never in my life. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Never been to Accra. So the first time I came to Accra, I was out of SS. So I've been around people that only speak Chi like mine. You only speak English in like class.
Yeah.
Right? It's like just Chi the whole time. Yeah.
How was your first time like in Accra? Because I'm sure you were hearing stories about Accra.
Honestly, no.
No, you weren't hearing stories about Accra.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, no. Like, Charlie, Baltimore was my whole world. Like my whole world, like a certain radius, right? It's like even North K.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you were younger, your whole world was like within a certain radius. Look, I wasn't hearing that much about Accra. I remember my first time here. The thing that really like hit me was the sea. I think we were driving on the Nungwa
Beach Road.
And that was like the first time that I was seeing. And
Apple.
Yeah. And I was happy.
Oh wow.
It gave me this feeling. And back then it was clean. It was cleaner. So yeah, it gave me this feeling. It was like,
But what brought you to Accra?
I think I was coming to visit an uncle or something. Yeah. Okay. One of my uncles just wanted me to come around, and then I came around, and then the next time I think they were having a wedding or something, and I came again. And then I decided that, okay, after those 2 times, I wanted to leave Kumasi to try and see what the rest of the country was like, especially Accra. So I decided to come to school here, GIJ. And that's why I met Ose.
Okay, that's where you met Ose. Oh, dope. Crazy.
Are you still in GIG?
Oh, no, I was...
You said that's why you're still what?
No, I said that's why I met Ose.
You met Ose.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Ose was a journalist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ose was.
So, I mean, we started off with your music. I was coming here to try and get to know you a little better outside of the music. But now that we started with the music, I want to stay on it for a little bit. For My Brothers. That's a record that people, when it first dropped, gave it a lot of, like, the credit. Like, people were, bigging it up and saying, it's a very dope album, very dense, very intricate, But the times that we're living in, and we also talked about you being at the protests and stuff. You had a record on there. It's talking about We Dey Hustle. Some
Boys are not smiling.
Yeah, boys are not smiling.
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Shouts to Show Them Camp.
Charlie. I mean, I feel like the record is timeless in its own way. But now that everything is also at its peak with the youth, everybody complaining, we were talking about Apioko, some of the
Yeah.
older people. We are the adults now, even though we don't want to accept it.
You guys are the reason we don't have uncle house parties anymore.
So it's like the youth are feeling what we were feeling back then. Some of it translated to your music. How do you feel about the country in general? Like the youth, what they are clamoring for? Because we've had some experience. The honest truth is, Mutombo, myself, you, our reality is not the average person's reality. Like the hustle, they hustle for streets, and we're not. We've paid our dues. We're maybe in a more comfortable position in life, and we have more control over our finances and whatnot. But the youth are feeling what we felt before. So my question remains: you've made records that resonate with that, and what is your outlook on the country, and how do you think the youth can maybe get better from the system? Not they themselves get better, but get better results from the system.
I think we have started, or they have started on a good note by being interested in politics again, because for a long time they were kind of switched off, right? Like they were kind of switched off. Like politics is we've wrapped it up as something that's only exists for a certain group of people, and I'll hustle and get my own. So the system is hard, but I'll beat it by myself. So you understand. But I think they are waking up to the fact that even though there will be instances where a few of us actually beat the system and then we do well, it's better for everybody that the system itself works.
Absolutely.
So that you do not spend as much energy, as much time, trying to fix your own corner, which somebody else whose corner is messed up can even come and, take it from you. So I believe it starts from there. It starts from them being interested in how the country works, how it's supposed to work, what their rights are, who they have to hold accountable, how they can change the things that need to be changed. Because I'm seeing a lot of conversation online where people are bringing up things that have happened in the country, and people are like, "Oh, if it wasn't for this protest, I've been here the last 7 years. I didn't know this happened." Yeah. So I think it starts from there, being interested in being actively involved in trying to change things. Yeah.
Do you use your work? When I say your work, I mean your music, your art form. Do you use it to like talk about some of these things, like the ills going on in the country, in the world, there with people, and if yes, can you give us one, example?
I've always been like that, because the reason I rap is because of Obrafo's Ade. And he was talking about like life in Ghana. He talked about the killings in Mataheko at the time and stuff. So my music has always been like that. Even when I have made like party songs, like one of the first songs I did when I joined BBNZ was Low Key with EL. It was a party song.
Yeah.
In the third verse, I say Alomo for the blues, Lumba for the mood, Nanado for the where, Mahama for the who. Why Sefu for voting, choosing who go rule. Chinyo or elephant, we still they suffer for the hood.
Shit.
So it's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because for me, I make music the same way that I use music, which is essentially to live life, you understand? So I it doesn't matter what it is that I'm doing, I find ways to, I haven't made, or I have made but haven't put out like outright political songs yet in that manner, but something that I do.
You told us one thing about your dad, and your track Dia was, for him,
inspired by
was inspired by him. What can you tell us? What one thing can you tell us about your mom?
I'm sure I spoke about her in the album.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure I did speak about her in the album. So if I'm not okay, one thing, any one thing, right? Okay,
one thing.
yeah. So currently she's the queen mother of our hometown, and I've watched her like go through all the motions, do all kinds of work to being in that position, and I kind of see it giving her a lot of fulfillment, and I'm happy for her.
Shouts.
Ohima.
What's her stool name?
Ohineyere na ne chance mpe.
Ohineyere. Na ne chance mpe. Shout. We will come for some
Land.
for some land or gold. Kojo, do you think you get enough credit for your work?
I don't know what enough credit is. Yeah. I don't know what enough credit is.
Okay, let's rephrase that.
Okay.
Do you think you are acknowledged the way that you deserve to be acknowledged based on the work that you've put in?
I do think that, okay, let me phrase it this way. I think there has also been like maybe a lag in the work itself and trying to get it to as many ears as possible.
Okay.
But as far as when it actually gets to ears, like more than 80% of the time people resonate, people like it. So, and for me, the whole reason that project was even called for my brothers is because of that Mensa line from Anna. They say that this won't take us to the Grammys and the Oscars, but Sean, the Grammys and the Oscars, this one's for my brothers. So for me, the thing that moves me the most is when actual people tell me, yo, this project, it did this for me. Like people talk to me like I'm their brother, and I made actually made this album for me, you got me through this. So the number of times I get to hear that, I'm kind of okay.
Yeah, but that's just one person telling you that, you have spent money, studio, videos, all that, to put together this amazing body of work. And one or two or even 10 people are telling you that, yo, this album is dope. Is that what you want?
What I want is that it actually affects like people, like it affects their lives, like it causes change. That's what I want. I like above all else. Before the money aspect, before the like, I'm the type that if you were to give me sign, like if when BBNZ signed me, they were paying me like a banker's salary or a doctor's salary to just make music, like I'm that type. I don't even like fame that much.
Oh.
You understand?
Okay.
I don't have a dream car. I don't have those type of needs. You understand? So for me, what's important is that somebody somewhere, because I know what music has done for me personally, that somebody somewhere hears something that I made and it changes their life. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a bit off topic, but you brought it up, so it just caught my ear. When you say banker's or doctor's salary, that would have been good enough for you.
Yeah.
I'm forced to ask, do we think those people have good salaries?
No. That at the moment, they, at least from what I am being told, yeah, they don't.
But also what he means is like a regular,
Yes.
income.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like if it was I don't see it as anything different from being a doctor. I don't see it as anything different from like having a regular job.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You understand?
Gotcha.
I don't see it as I'm a born star. I'm supposed to be big and bigger and live here. No, I see it's my job. You understand? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that's a very humble perspective.
Yeah.
For you to have to do what you do, because I mean, we all know as a rapper you need ego, a lot of it. One of the things that I think drew me to you initially were, I think, realizing we have very similar music tastes, like from Hove to
Very.
Obrafour and all of that. So how do you, what's your constitution? What makes you this humble guy? You have all these people that you admire and you enjoy.
Jay-Z especially.
Jay-Z especially.
Yeah, people are, yeah.
But then you tend to
Yeah, like I think the thing that people maybe might get wrong about Jay, for example, is that, from my perspective, he's looking for freedom, and he thinks that in a capitalist system, the best way that he can get freedom for him and his people is to get as much money as possible.
Of course.
That's true though.
Do you understand? Yeah. So it's when I'm listening to him, I'm not just hearing that go and make $1 million. I'm just hearing somebody that's searching for
freedom.
You understand? Yeah. And then this is his way of trying to get to it. I grew up around community. You understand? The type of community that we don't, like you were talking about, going to, get mango. That it doesn't even happen anymore, right? So I grew up around community, and I know how dope that was, even though we didn't have money.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think for me, I'm drawn more to that. You understand? I am drawn more to. I used to have this conversation with a rapper friend of mine that I genuinely believe that if everybody in the world was just sorted out for just existing, and you were told to do whatever you want to do just out of the love that you have for that thing, that it will produce way more excellence than we think capitalism actually, will produce. Because imagine if a lot of the rappers that we are crazy about didn't have to think about the charts or didn't have to think about how much money they can make. And they just went to the studio to go and make music because they loved it. Yeah. So for me, it's just that. I don't know when that, I haven't always been that way. So I don't know when that switch happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because you being a fan of Jigga, you should be. So how would you feel when a song of yours tops the charts for like 6 months?
It's amazing. People are listening to it.
Won't that change your life? Like the way you see life, the way you live?
Maybe. I cannot say for now because it hasn't happened. I can only assume. You understand? Yeah. So, but I thought having people spoke about having a big record where you can go everywhere and perform and people will know it, right? I did Pen and Paper with Shaker. We had at least 2 big records. One of them huge everywhere we went to.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you understand?
It didn't do that thing for.
No, I enjoy. For example, I enjoy performing in smaller rooms because I can actually see the people. Yeah, I can actually see people. I can actually gauge their reactions to it, as opposed to being on a huge and then you can only see a few people in the So I don't think it would change much. I think maybe what being that big will change. What being that big will change is how many people I get to help. Yeah.
Wow. You tied a knot some years ago. How many years?
9.
Crazy.
Yeah, 9 years.
Crazy.
That's 2013.
No wait. Why did you marry that fast?
I met somebody I thought like
You,
yeah.
how did you know that at that young age, 20 something, this is the person that I want to be with? Like I assume that at 20 you hadn't explored to your fullest potential. I don't know your life. I am assuming,
Okay.
you know. Yeah, but for me in my 20s, I hadn't done jack.
Okay, so I think another thing for me too is very cool childhood until like maybe 14. A few things happened here and there, but like
Yeah.
for the most part,
Yeah.
very cool until like 14, 15. And then from there to like maybe 22, like very fast. Had to grow up. Like very, very fast.
Yeah.
You understand? Had to grow up. So for example, I'm not big on going to the club, going here, because for all of SS, Bantama High Street, which is like Oxford Street back in the day where everything happened, I spent like most of my time in SS
Yeah.
over there. You know,
So you saw everything.
like one beer bottle in hand, a cigarette in hand. Someone will see you go and tell your mom at home.
You've been there, done
There's
that.
there's
like,
a lot
you know,
that I kind of did, and I was always maybe too mature mentally for my age, because if you judge by my friends, you would think that I am older than.
Yeah.
You understand? Like even when I got to GIJ, the group of friends that I found, it always shocks like our wives when they realize that we were not in the same class. Like there were people that were 3 years, 4 years ahead of me, and these were group of people that I found. So I don't know. That's just how my mind is. Yeah.
Wow. 9 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Rated as a long time. Long time.
Yeah.
So if you are to give us one tip, like how we would know or what would inform us that this person is the person that you should stay with or you should be with, are there any tips? Like what's that one tip?
The one tip is the way we're all different. Marriages is the same way. There's no one size fits all. It's you and your situation. And so you have to really, really understand what you want.
Yeah.
And both sides, you have to be honest with each other about that. And then just understand that it's a partnership and kind of build from there.
Yeah.
But an additional thing that I will add is, for me, what was important was a person that had a lot of kindness for people, not for me. Because when a person is in love with you, automatically they're super kind to you, right?
Yeah.
And since you're going to do a long ass journey with this person, and it's not going to be all lovey-dovey throughout.
Yeah.
There will be moments when you don't like each other as much.
Yep.
You have to pick someone who is at least kind, even in those moments when they don't like you.
Yeah.
This kind thing. Did you guys see the tweet about somebody taking the asthma inhaler and they said they are not kind enough? So basically, he got into an argument with his girlfriend or his lover. And this is her telling the story from her perspective.
Yeah.
And she didn't give context as to what the argument was about. But he got asthma attack. And the guy was he had the emergency one. She couldn't find the one that was with her. So they reached out and the guy just brought the inhaler and gave it to them, her and her friend, and left. Bounced.
Wow.
So they're saying that he should have stayed to make sure he was okay, blah, blah, blah. And that makes him unkind. So
But he brought you your life, isn't that kind enough?
so now that he's saying kind, I think I'm digging a bit about what kindness means.
Yeah,
Because it seems it means different things.
Because we are fighting, like we are seriously
I'm still
fighting.
angry.
And I hear that you are having an attack. and I drive all the way to where you are to give you the pump and leave, that isn't kind.
Maybe they feel it's not kind because you gave her the pump and you left, not making sure that she was okay before you left, just because you guys had an argument.
No, Kojo.
So, like, let me put it this way to you, right? If you had an argument with your mom and in a similar situation, you go home, drop there, and then leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Like, I'm not go.
Yeah. No, because
like you won't take it to her.
I go take.
No, because Kojo,
I go take.
Without a pump, you can die.
No, I understand that.
And I'm the only person in the world with a pump.
Yeah.
And I have left where I am. My Zoom call brought you the pump.
Okay, full disclosure. Apparently, they lived in the same building, so he was just downstairs.
Really?
I'm afraid, but you know, give me the whole story.
No, I mean, as they go and say, I left all the way from where I came, I had to at least be honest.
Kojo, I know your wife, to a certain degree. She's a doctor now, a very, very smart and, very, very smart woman.
She's a doctor of pharmacy.
Yeah. She's very, very smart. Like anytime I talk to her, you can gauge, her brain, if you talk about women and asses and girls and in your songs, do you guys have that talk?
No, we don't.
You don't?
No.
She's cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's well.
But they talk about us.
Yeah.
Not as much, but
not as much, but women here and
not
there.
Not as much, yeah.
I've never. Maybe I need to go back and check.
Yeah.
I'm sure you say it in a very creative way. Yeah.
So wait, so you've never had a talk like, oh
no. Like she will listen and say you're why are you always saying this thing? Like you said it in like 5 songs. So then she brings it like I think I had a period where I was always saying, "Oh girl, no say, oh girl, no say." It's like every song, "Oh girl, no say, oh girl, no say."
Who is that girl?
No, it's not even who is that girl. It was more change it up. Like it's becoming more.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't have that. I don't think she knows who I am. That's the thing. And she knows who I am. So I don't think she's bothered by that.
Have you known her for a very, very long time?
9 years.
No, but before that.
Yeah,
is it like
no. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 years before.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you met her 2-3 years later. You guys got married.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's dope. Chai, shout.
Shout out to those who find their mates, man. Kojo, what's next? I mean, the music. So actually, I was watching and keeping up with you. I see that you're doing some work outside of the music itself, but you're trying to support artists in other very constructive ways that we don't talk about. Mutombo and I have been trying to, peel back the layers so that young and upcoming people can know the type of work that goes into being an artist. And I think you've moved to that side of things more where you're very in tune with the legal side, the business side, what needs to be done and whatnot. So I want you to kind of maybe talk a little bit about that, but I also want to know as a fan, if you have any, music in the works, if you're planning to drop another album, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so the album Bit Fest, I was gone for a while, and just because I was like, the last thing I put out was in 2021. For this year, I wanted to give people something. So I'm dropping an EP, and then the follow-up to For My Brothers is coming out next year.
Okay.
Yeah, but one thing that people have also been really asking for is the For My Brothers concert, so I'm trying to give them that this year as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so on the music end, that's what's been going on. I think we even dropped a As at the time we're doing this interview, we just dropped the first single with Joey B off the EP.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I have to check it out.
Yeah, it's called Free Throw. Check it out anywhere.
What's the name of the EP?
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Shout out to that guy over there. He named it.
Terminator.
I'm back.
Yeah. And this is the first place I'm saying it anywhere, but it is
Shout
built.
out.
It is built around MJ coming
Back.
out of retirement.
45.
Yeah, like when he put the letter out, and it's just like I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the other end, I have always been interested in the music business. I've always been interested in the music. Like I'm just the type of person I believe that if you love a thing, you want to know how it works. Yeah. So I've always been anything that I just want to. When I was a kid, they used to say that I mean sasayadie, because if I like a thing, I try to open it up to see, how I was doing what I was doing. Yeah. So I've always been interested in the music business, and even early on in my career, for example, when we formed the Q Collective in Kumasi, because we felt like creatives in Kumasi deserved representation as much as those in Accra at that time. I worked more for them as the PR and marketing guy than even as an artist. So I've always been interested in it. But especially lately, I feel more and more like I will have more to give this industry from the back end, even more than I have given it from the front end. I'm starting to look at everything that I am a part of, or I'm starting to look at the music as my part of building Ghana. So if I feel like the systems are not in place for our music industry, then I need to educate myself to try and, you understand? It would be cool to just be the artist.
Of course.
But when you don't come to meet the tree, you have to plant it. And sometimes that will take your time. You don't even get to sit under that tree. But it is good that you do it so that the guy that comes after you doesn't inherit the same problems So for me, that's why I'm super interested in the back end now. And in 2020, I formed a music marketing and PR company with 3 other friends. Trebla, I don't know if you know Trebla.
Yeah, I know Trebla.
And Trebla, Benoit of Hamatan Rain, and Mikey Ashka. And we just wanted to help people, figure out the PR and the music marketing end. And then eventually we moved into music distribution as well. For the past, I think 5 months, I've been working for a company called ArtSplit. They have a division called Music Split, where we're trying to build a place where creatives can go and get funding without all the extra attachments that come with traditional record labels. You understand? Where you can get funding directly from the fans or from the company, and you don't have to give up your masters, or you don't have to give up creative control and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's just where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out how best I can help.
Have you worked with any artists yet?
For Rain Labs, we've worked with. We did PR marketing for Lava Fields, Joey's Lava Fields. We did for Kiddy's Blue EP. We did for the Jackie EP that had the Forever song. I've forgotten what the name of the EP was. We did Baba J.
Yo, Baba J, crazy.
I'm a big fan.
Yo,
yeah, we did Baba J. We've even done some guy from East Africa called Marumun, who's really picking up over there. But it's just for us to help.
Yeah. So starting this thing, what have you learned about the Ghana music industry? Because as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know, systems don't work. Systems are not in place. People have issues with royalties and whatnot. Like, what have you learned, along the way, and how are you dealing with it?
There's a lot of education that we need to do, and we all need to be committed to doing it, right? Our biggest issue is a lack of resources, both financially and like human resources, education, people that know how the music business globally works.
Yeah.
Because now, especially, we are super interested in playing the global game too. Yeah, so I believe that is what we need at the moment. Yeah, just educate ourselves and then commit to building the systems however, at whatever pace that we can.
Yeah.
Okay, we fix this, then we go here, we fix that, and then we move on. Yeah.
Where is the cue from?
I mentioned it earlier. I was
then I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention in class.
I wanted to ask too, but he said something briefly about it. I didn't quite know if he answered the question.
So this was like maybe 2011 or 2012. Creatives in Kumasi were making music. It's really not moving. We had people that were video editors, wanted to be directors, people that were graphic designers, people that were interior designers. And we all just felt like, okay, why don't we come together to collectively use all of our skills to help each other? And the name that we came up with at that time was The Q. And I think the reason we had for that was because Q is when you're putting as a DJ when you're putting the next music that's there. Yeah. So we felt like we were next up, so The Q. And I came up with the social media strategy for everybody around us to add Q to their names on social media so that people will be like, what is all this QQ saying that? And then they will come and find out about. At that time, my artist name was just Kojo.
Okay.
It was just Kojo. And Kojo was like, it's just super common. So I realized that when I added the Q to it, people as a differentiator started to call me Kojo Q. I was like, okay, it's not that bad. So then it kind of stuck.
Yeah. I also thought, actually, it's the same. I also thought it was a play on the other Q. Like, you are in Q to be next. What's your favorite Jay-Z song?
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the day. It depends on the day. What an easier question for me would be, what's not my favorite Jay-Z song? Yeah, but I think just for the purposes of today, I'll pick Alio.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's a timeless record. I think it was in a completely different zone.
Yeah, that's dope. I've seen you on stage so many times. I've seen you on stages like so many times. Do you have a moment that you will never ever forget live?
Yeah, the very first Kojo Q show I ever did was at a small place in a small room in Wager. I don't think it was about 100 people, but it looked like super filled. And it's special to me because it was the very, very first show that I was doing for myself. It was all the way in Wager. I didn't think people would come. In fact, the owner of the place was complaining about who's this guy that you people have gone to bring and blah, blah, blah. And it was just a group of people called Sevenfold Ghana, Ben Sevenfold and his people who believed in me. And Ben was a fan. He was like, let's do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's my cousin.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, so Ben, like, let's do this, Kojo. And then we decided to do it. And I remember that by the time the show started, like, the whole place was full. And the owner of the place, the waitress, everybody was shocked. And the song that I started with was my intro from The Shining, which was the tape I had at that time. And the hook says, the theme song to The Rise of a Ghetto Kid, pay attention, just look at what the ghetto did. And when I started performing it, I actually
Did you cry?
Yeah. And the only person that noticed was Misna. Because Misna had come out. Yeah, so that's how we even like built a relationship, because she was like I saw you, and because it was a super heavy, like people actually came out to listen to me, and they were rapping along to it was super heavy for me. Yeah.
One person who, I shouldn't lie, I don't remember if he introduced me to, or he pushed me to pay attention to you, when it was Nasa.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was super close with him, and I remember how he always spoke about you, that Kojo Q, Charlie on Akran or Bow Mude Wusru. And you know, Nasa, if Nasa is supporting you, Nasa supports you, you know, and you were in school with him, you were close with him, he was your G. Do you think about him? And if you do, what comes to mind?
The jokes, bro. It's always the jokes. Like we have a WhatsApp group, and like every time, like even after the protest when Lexus got arrested and stuff, after he got out, I was like, Charlie, the jokes. If Floaty was here, like you're dead for the next
for the next few days.
Yeah. So it's always that's always like the first thing that gets to me. But also because if you gave me like a million chances out of all the people that I know to pick, I never would have. It was not a thought that even crossed my mind. Like him, especially because he's such a like support.
Yeah,
I think that's the word. He's such a supportive person. He'll follow you anywhere as long as he believes in. You understand? Like he'll give you more of him about the thing than you.
Even you don't have him mobile. He will give you like more.
No, he'll give you more of him about it than you yourself. And he's not making anything from it.
Yeah.
You understand? It's just like
the good die young, Charlie.
Yeah, it's facts.
Would you make a song for him?
I can't lie. I have done something, but then I did it for me, so I don't know if I put it out. Yeah, it's just it was heavy for me. I needed to say something, but I don't know if I'm going to put it out or not.
Currently in Ghana, who is rocking it for you?
I'm super into Baba J and what she's doing. I love Kweku DMC and Kweku Smoke. I love Blacko as well. I'm praying that Kwesiata comes back.
Yeah, what's going on with Kwesiata?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to him in a while, so I don't know either. But I'm praying that that comes back as well. So I'm like, these are the people that I can say that's like on a daily. Yeah, I listen to at the moment. Yeah.
So basically, if we go to your Spotify or Apple,
I use Apple Music. Yeah.
If we go to your Apple Music, we are going to see these people.
Yeah. You're going to see, like, Baba's own is even like crazier because I was a part of the process of putting it together. So I've been listening to it even before.
I mean, if I know at the end of the year, Spotify will come up with that thing.
Yeah, so you see that,
I know, I'm like 101% sure that Baba J's EP is going to come up.
What's your favorite song on the project?
That's sometimes it's 227, sometimes it's like me some marble, like that popish track is crazy. Like I vibe with every single song, and whoever listed those songs, like how it is listed the tracks, it flows seamlessly.
Yeah, she did it herself.
And it's short, so you have to get to listen to it over and over and over again. I think you should listen to.
Yeah, I was just about to say I haven't heard, but I'm gonna check her out.
You have to listen to it. Do you think for your project for my brothers, you have squeezed the juice out? Like, have you finished squeezing the juice out?
I know a lot of people that I had people. One of my fans in Canada, and his wife literally sent over a whole document of, oh, we are going to do podcasts, we are going to do this, we are going to do this. So I know a lot of people don't think I have.
I personally think so.
Yeah,
Because the tracks, the beats, the lyrics, the people you featured, like everything, it is a masterpiece. And even before we spoke about, this podcast, I was always, Charlie, this project. I don't know how many videos do you have from that project.
I have like, I think 3 or 4. Yeah, but the videos are not. The videos, in comparison to the music, the videos fall short. Like, I'm the first to admit that. I made a marketing decision because when I was making the music, I didn't know that people were going to resonate like that. You understand? So, based on the funding that I had, I made the decision to have more content as opposed to maybe having this one video that's like super amazing to everybody. Yeah, so that's what happened over there. And I know there are different places that it can be taken to. But shout outs to Ivan Skafui, that's my creative director. For my brothers, it's a part of a series of projects, like 4 projects, called Ghana Man Times that we had thought up. So we can't get stuck there. We have to move on to we have to move on to the next one.
Was the planning of that influenced by your journalist background, Ghana Man Times, or like, is this like you're trying to make sort of
like a newspaper?
Yeah, or a catalog of work?
Yeah. So it started out from just me trying to. The single idea before even Evans got involved was, what if I made a series of albums that documented life in Ghana during my time here, and I put all of them in a box and buried it somewhere, and people find it, let's say 300 years from now, what type of, what will it do? So that's where it started from, and then I just had the Ghana Man Times thing, and then it's when I met Kaf that we started to piece it together, and then it's like, Charlie, why are you waiting till 200 years? People need to hear this now.
Yeah. Are you signed?
No, I'm indie, but BBNZ is family. At this point, it's beyond. Yeah, it's beyond that. It has been beyond literally this morning I'm talking to Alvin, and I don't really make a lot of moves without running it by him. So, and his vision for me, honestly, was always to be here. His vision. Yeah, he got me the split job, Seth. So his vision for me was always to be here. So, yeah, shout out to Nev.
I was trying to tackle him to be on the show, but I'm still tackling him.
You have to get him here, even though it will be an uphill battle.
Nev, I'm gonna put you on blast until you show up. I know what you told me in person, but I ain't giving up until you show up.
Yeah. Are you, your pen and paper collab with Shaker was dope. Like you said earlier, it was everywhere. People were rapping verbatim. It was everywhere. Have you thought of working on a collabo like with Shaker, like something?
So we recorded the part 2 to that. We're maybe like 80% in it, but the fault is mine. I'm not really a group person. Yeah, I'm not really a group person. Because whenever I work with someone, I'm trying my best to bring balance. So I feel like when I work with, except when I'm working with, like, let's say somebody like Kiara who has a very similar like me, most of the time I'm having to tone down.
Is he still rapping?
He's recording, but he's not putting out yet. But most of the time I'm having to like tone it down, or you're going to come to the project thinking that this is heavier than that, and I don't like that. But also because of that, I don't work very well in a group because I feel like I'm not bringing everything that I can bring to it. Yeah, so we were in the middle of that, and then I just had to go and finish up for my brothers, and I left.
Oh,
yeah, but we've had conversations. So at some point, I think I also feel like we were, with the first one, we genuinely did it out of love. With the second one, it had become like, that's what the people want, so give them. And I don't like to work like that.
Yeah. I'm asking this question because of what you told us about your mom. You said your mom is a queen mother.
Yeah.
That means you are from a royal family.
Kinda.
So if tomorrow they come for you, is this something that you would do?
No, I'm super interested in culture, but I'm not. I don't like being the face of things. Unfortunately, I just had to rap, but I don't like. I don't like. In class 3, I was made class prefect and told to write names of talkatives. And then I started writing, and people promised me that they would give me toffee and whatever. And so I started canceling out.
Charlie, you can't be a politician.
Yeah, so I started canceling out like the names of people that, and then when the teacher came back, they all snitched on me that I wrote names, and then I'm canceling people's names out. So I ended up being the only one that was beaten. And it kind of stuck with me that I genuinely want to help, but maybe power isn't my thing.
Yeah, power isn't your thing.
It's good to recognize yourself. Yeah. I mean, we've touched on quite a bit. I want to go a little deeper into expectations. Because you seem like a very grounded person. Not a lot influences you, at least from our perspective, the way we see you. And when Jules was here, we had a special with Jules. I had asked him a question about his humility, how he carries himself, social media kind of sort of, not downplays himself, but very humble and looking for the approval of the fans. And I think there's a certain element of that exists with you. To a lesser degree, my question is coming from given that context because I want to know, for you yourself, I know you've touched on it, but Mutombo will ask you a little bit, but expectations. Because I think there was a point where the general sentiment in the rap, GH rap especially space was, you have next. Kojo Q is that guy, lyrical, we're going to latch on to this one and this train is taking off and we're all like, waiting for that moment where it's like, okay, this is my crown, every motherfucker bow down kind of thing. And you didn't necessarily take that route or didn't necessarily go that route. I don't know what is the truest sense of it, but I want to kind of know from your perspective what you feel about those expectations, living up to them or not living up to them, how you prioritize that in your career as an artist.
If I'm understanding what you're saying, then I'll say, for me, I take that in good faith to say, is obviously people want the best for you, right? So they want what they think, or what they've been told, or what they believe is best for you. But you're the only one that truly understands what works for you and your circumstances. So at the end of the day, I'm super happy that people see me enough to think that, oh, this guy should have next. But it does not really dictate how I move. Yeah, it does not really dictate how I move. Honestly, I wish I was that way sometimes. Right? I wish I was that way sometimes, but my mind is very, how will we all be good?
Progress.
And or let me sum it up. Let me sum it up to this way. I just want to see dope shit exist. It doesn't even matter if I get credit for it.
Okay.
I just want to see dope shit exist. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So profound.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't thinking that was where you're coming at. But I mean, now that you've given the answer, I totally understand it. Do you think you have to go and work on Niv for us? But Niv, for those who don't know, is Alvin, is BBNZ,
Yeah.
our head. I've had many conversations with him. He had very high expectations for the record label, for you, for Shaker, for everybody else. And he's also transitioned into a different role in the entertainment space. You are transitioning into a different role into the entertainment space. We're all thinking about how we can have an impact on, I guess, the society that we live in. What is the one thing that you think you're specially placed for? Like, you think you can do better than anybody else, and you want to take the reins of to try and move the culture forward?
As in the music?
The culture in general.
The
So
culture
there's
in
music,
general.
the business side of it, the marketing side of it, all that.
I think if there's anything special about me, it's probably understanding. I believe that I just have a natural knack for understanding concepts and how different things connect. That is how maybe even my wordplay game, because I could see how this connects to that and find those things. So I believe if I can say there's something that's obviously special about me, it's that.
Okay.
Is the ability to see from as many perspectives as possible and try and see where we can connect the dots. So I don't know what that role in the end becomes, right? But for me at the moment, and sometimes I take on more than I can actually handle. But for me at the moment, it's just like, what are you doing? Okay, this is how I can help.
Okay.
And even beyond that, this and that is what I think you can do. I think that guy can help you with this. I think that guy can help you with that. And then just point you
In the right direction.
in that direction, yeah.
You know, high life is Ghanaian. High life is in tree. you know the Daddy Lumbers, the Amachi the Days, the
High Life was in English before, though.
well, yeah. You are talking about the ET members.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about from the 80s. Many of these people were based in Europe, right? So for them, they were catering for the Ghanaian crowd there, right? You are based here, and you rap in Chi, right? How difficult has it been to get people from other, places to vibe with your song?
Other places, as in outside of Ghana?
Yeah, outside of Ghana.
It's funny because I had a lot of love from Nigeria for my brothers, because I mix English and pidgin as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so from the little that they could pick up, yeah, because I remember Titi at that time telling me that I need to make lyric videos for all the songs and do the translations. Yeah, and then because just from the interpretation I had given her and the little that she had gathered,
Yeah.
she could tell that I think this is a Ghanaian album, but this is like a West African album.
Yeah.
So French, English, and just moving it around.
Yeah.
Language definitely plays a part, especially for people like me and Fred who are all about the lyrics. Yeah, like I can love a song I don't understand, but I can't love an artist I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, I can't form like a bond. I can have that one Magic System song that comes on and I'm crazy, but you're not going to find me like crazy about Magic System just because I don't understand what. So, and since I make the type of music that I make, I think the special bit is in the lyrics.
Yes.
Then it's definitely a major point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I honestly make the music as it comes to me. And like I am saying, I believe in energy. I believe we are all energy. I believe we're all connected too. So for me, it's like I am contributing what the source or whatever the programmer is pushing me to contribute. You understand? So in the ways that it comes to me, I'll put it out there, even if the language limits it from reaching certain people.
Right.
Because the reason why it's coming to me the way it's coming to me is because maybe it's for, you understand? Like Peter walked around with Jesus all his life. It was Paul who ended up carrying a message outside. The person that even never met Jesus. You understand? So it's like you just do what the source is telling you, and you understand, and you don't downplay. I think the reason I am so content, or it seems that I am so content, is that what I have come to understand above all else in life is that because we are naturally self-centered, even in counting our achievements, we don't tend to count the things that we do not see. Right? So, for example, I rap because my cousin gave me an Obrafour tape. My cousin wanted to be a musician, by the way. He didn't end up there. Different path. I doubt that when he wakes up in the morning, he sees me and says, look, I was successful. Because I'm only here because he did that one thing. You understand? So, I speak about Mensa a lot. I don't know if when Mensa wakes up, he realizes that, anything that this guy does that people are happy about, it only exists because I did whatever it is that I did. So even if I didn't make $1 million from it, or I didn't, you understand, count me as part of that.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
So for me, it's like I have no idea what this little music that I am doing, that is not going anywhere according to me and everybody that can see what I am seeing, is doing to some kid who 20, 30 years from now is going to do something super amazing and say, oh, it was because I heard Rich Dad Poor Dad, it was because I heard Shit a Song.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So because I do not know that, I am more content to play my role, sort of, to give to be a vessel for the source, sort of, knowing that the source understands what it is that it is building, and eventually it will connect. Yeah.
To play out.
Cool. Kwade or Obrafour?
I have to say Obrafour.
No, who is the best lyricist?
Who's the best lyricist?
Yeah. I'm not talking about your favorite. Who do you think is the best lyricist?
That's hard. That's like one of the hardest questions ever,
Maybe
because
Kwade.
Okonkwo Kwade.
You
I
don't
think
know
you
Okonkwo
would-
Kwade?
you would- you had-
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like you're mentioning niggas with the God, man. Oh, bruh.
Yeah. So Quade isn't even a rapper in the sense of the word. Because Quade didn't. If you listen to most of Quade's stuff, he doesn't even rhyme. Right?
He rhymes, but
No,
but
it's
his
like
but his pockets are
like most of the time he's not bound by.
by
Do you understand?
rhyme. He's not bound.
He's not.
He's not bound
He's
by
not bound.
rhymes.
And I think even he will tell you that he considered himself as more of a dance hall person than a rapper.
I've never heard it.
Yeah. Like that is where he comes from, right? So,
But to be honest with you, for me personally, I like Obrafo and all that, but Quade is an insane lyricist.
Yeah. Obrafo has said things
Am I see his rhymes, like he's so picturesque, like you can see what he's saying.
yeah,
Is it on Apple
as a story, as a storyteller,
He's crazy.
yes,
Yeah.
because that was more his thing. As a storyteller, yes, he's also a very very dope, like he's very dope with like catchy melodies as well.
Yeah.
Obrafo also has that thing because he also has like a lot of high life.
You still
influence.
have to pick though.
I have to. I have
sincere. You have to be sincere.
No, I
about
have to
it.
pick up. I cannot not pick Obrafo. Like the reason I'm sitting here is because of Obrafo.
Have you met him?
Have I? Yeah, I think I've met him, but have I met him? No, I wasn't there. I didn't. I haven't met him.
Oh wow.
I've met Hamado, but I haven't met Obrafo. But I have met Quade.
Yeah.
I've met Jerry.
Yeah. Dope. That's crazy because Hammer. I was coming to talk about Hammer. I wanted to speak a little bit about Hammer and what you think, how you see his role, from back then. Even though now he's not really doing the music. What do you think of his role in the hip life, scene? People were saying that his beats were one way, you could give, any of his acts the same beat and on different songs and they would, match and all that. But aside all of that, what do you think of, his contribution to the culture?
As a fan, I never really felt like his beats were one way.
That was
genuinely.
it was what people were saying.
Yeah, as a fan, I never heard a Hammer beat, and that's not the first feeling that I got.
Yeah.
Like every time I heard a Hammer beat, it was because it wasn't like most of the stuff that was on the radio.
Yeah.
He was the other guy.
Yeah.
You understand? So every time I heard it, it was refreshing for me. I never felt like that. I can understand why. Yeah, why people would say that, but
His drums were
you understand?
insane,
Yeah, but I never felt like that. Reggie Rockstone told me once that he thinks Obrafo is the hip life Jesus and he is Moses.
Okay.
In the sense that Paimuka is the most important album to the growth of hip life because it is the main album that actually finally got it accepted across board. Right?
Yeah.
He was able to, even though Reggie did like rapped in Tree as well, Obrafo was the first time that it was Tree that's the average person on the, you understand? And Hammer produced that. So based off of that alone, that's you understand? That's you I don't know what I can say about Hammer that will. Plus he also gave us arguably the greatest gun rapper till date. So he gave us the
Tiny.
yes, he gave us the
Tiny. We actually need the Tiny on the pod.
that
I
guy
have to hear him up.
and then he gave us the greatest ever rapper till date.
Shout out to Ike Bear them.
Wow.
Yeah,
You understand? So it's like I don't know what you can say about Hammer. That's a legend.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah,
Shout out to Hammer.
And the one thing that's super dope about him and Reggie is that they, at least from my interactions with them, have no feeling of envy, right? I'm not even using envy in a bad way,
Yeah.
but I know it can feel some way when you work at something for so long, and there are kids that are now benefiting off of it more than you ever did, that don't even give you props. You understand? But those are the two people that I've met that don't have that
Like-
type of energy at all.
From my interaction with Reggie, I think
Reggie doesn't care about.
doesn't
those
feel like he
things.
feels like there's a
Yeah.
debt owed to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants certain things to be properly.
But I
Documented,
know,
yeah.
I know one thing about Reggie. Reggie and Panji are always at it because they
Of
have
the hip life.
Yeah, they have that thing. But I quick, Kojo, last question. Then like you said, you said something about Hama, which I can't remember now. But what do you want people, the next generation, to remember you by? Like, if your name comes up, what do you want people? What was that one thing that you want people to remember you by, or with?
Jokingly, I say I don't want to be remembered a lot. Yeah, but if there's one thing I want to be remembered by, is that I tried to help whenever I could. Yeah, and even sometimes the help that I could give wasn't good enough. But it always came from genuinely wanting to help.
Yeah, a good place.
Wow.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, man.
Fred, what do you
So-
think?
Just for line up the land with mommy. Your mom has always been a queen mother. Or she was put in.
No. Just I think that was that like a year after I got married or something. I think it was a year or two
Okay.
after. Yeah. So
But she always
hasn't-
knew it was a possibility.
Yeah. So according to what she told me recently, before her grandmother who had it before her, when they were about to put her on, there was discussions about her even as at that time, but her dad said no. So I think it was something that was always at the back of her mind. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of happy for her. Yeah, I'm happy for her.
Charlie. Kojo Q, we thank you for coming through the podcast. Chai Fred.
Yeah, it's been a dope one.
Yeah, it's been a dope one, Charlie. Back to back. Like,
Today, as you say, get plenty questions.
yeah. Because
Make you talk to them, right?
yeah, because Charlie, he kept on, giving me the answers.
But I like the
it was
vibe and the energy of it. That's what I always.
It went.
At least he does that for me as well.
Yeah, it
So
went so
when
smoothly.
we catch Charlie, when we catch fire, then we catch fire. But-
Chai Kojo Q, we thank you for coming through the podcast, the If More Let's Divide podcast, season 3. You guys for share, you guys for leave a review, you guys for share them on your WhatsApp pages with your aunties and grandmothers. Fred, the If More Let's Divide, Fred.
We're through.
We are-
Actually, check out the EP.
Yeah.
I'm back. Kojo Q is on Apple
Definitely.
Music and other platforms, right?
Yes, it's on all the streaming platforms.
Yeah, Charlie.
You can follow me on social media as well, Kojo_Q, Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we'll keep you updated, Charlie.
You
The
already
If
know.
More Let's Divide, Fred.
Yes, sir.
We are through.
Charlie.